Hello and welcome to the news update on Enterprise TV. I'm Choma Okoye. Rivers State Governor Similaya Fubara has directed heads of local government administration to take charge of the 23 council areas of the state. This follows Monday's expiration of the statutory 3-year tenure of the elected chairman, vice chairman, and councillors. Fubara gave the directive this morning in a statewide broadcast. He thanked the elected chairman and councillors for their service, which expired on Monday. The governor's directive brought relief to long-touted tension that could have boiled over in the state. The chairman had insisted on remaining in office, citing a court ruling in the case involving the Martins Amewule-led House of Assembly and the three-man house led by Victor Oko-Jumbo. Only on Monday, the Gema and Asare Toro councils were enveloped by anxiety as youths took over the secretariat following the expiration of the tenure of chairmen, councillors, and other council officials. Some gunmen believed to be enforcing sit-at-home have reportedly killed many people and injured others in 2 Anambra communities. The gunmen invaded a Newichi community in a Newi North local government area and a Nobi community in a Demili South local government area on Monday morning. At the Newichi community, the gunmen were said to have invaded a hotel after discovering that some persons were having a meeting there. The gunmen started shooting sporadically at the hotel premises while destroying properties. The assailants were said to have killed Chieloka Ubajekwe, head of vigilante group and chief security officer of the community, while he was attempting to ward off the attackers. Those who sustained injuries have been taken to various hospitals in the state. At the Nobi community, the gunmen shot sporadically to scare away residents and engaged in gun drills with security operatives. Confirming the attacks in a statement, Tochukwu Ikenga, Anambra police spokesperson, said only 3 persons, including a 22-year-old lady, have been confirmed dead. Earlier, we spoke with Emeka Madnago, who is an indigene of Nobi in Anambra and a relative of 2 of the victims. Emeka, sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, do accept our condolences.
Thank you.
This time, the tragedy struck home, and looking at the recent happening, what can you tell us about it? And with the police report saying they took the victims to the hospital and they are in this situation, what is your reaction?
Well, first of all, we are aware of the menace of unknown gunmen, so to speak, in the southeast. It's been on for some time, and Mondays, usually declared as sit at home.
Sure.
And so, but even on those sit-at-homes, people still move around, on foot, just, okay. So on that Monday, these fellows, had already, they couldn't invade, they could not succeed in kidnapping people from the hospital, from the hotel, in Newichi, a neighboring community. So they now got somebody, who was just coming from medical treatment with his wife. He was driving the Sienna bus, the transport driver, with a transport company, popular transport company. So, they now intercepted him, and the wife was telling them that the husband is sick. He just went to take treatment, and we're going back home. They didn't listen, along the way, they, put the wife out of the vehicle, and then continued. Then the vigilantes, we had already got wind of the development and then went after them. Fortunately, they didn't know that those kidnappers also had a backup vehicle, because some of them had entered the Sienna and moved off. They didn't know that these guys were also operating a red Highlander, Toyota Highlander, So by the time they were able to get them, block them, just near my family house, so in the process, of trying to reverse, the vigilante vehicle fell into the gutter. Then these guys, of course, the vigilante they were exchanging bullets with them, and these guys were heavily armed with AK-47 rifles. So the backup vehicle now came. Their backup vehicle came, and then from there they opened fire and killed the head of the vigilante, Sir Chieluka Obajekwe. Then in the process of shooting, a 22-year-old lady, Amara Ochara, from my kindred, was shot in the buttocks and the back, so she fell into the gutter. Then one other, member of my kindred too, a boy, was also shot in his stomach, so his intestines came out. So what we got from our relatives, back home was that they now, when people were shouting, after those guys had left with the Sienna, they went to a neighboring village, saw 3 men on an Okada, and stopped them. Hey, where are they go? And they just, so those men were trying to run away. They now shot them. And, one of them was, later died of his injuries. The other one is still in the hospital. So this, my relation that, that was shot in the stomach is also still in the hospital. So they, they went away. And then it's sad that, the police are saying that they were the ones because, throughout all these things that happened, the police had not even got there. It was later that the police arrived on the scene, and I think the government of Anambra State needs to, do better in terms of confronting these insurgents, because there are about 6 to 8 communities in Anambra State that have been occupied by these insurgents. I had the opportunity to drive I was in a commercial bus that made a detour through some of the villages they occupy. We ran into some of them, you could see them dropped. They tried to get money from us, but our driver said he didn't have any money. So we left, and we drove for a long, for some minutes, through some villages, empty. You can imagine villages, that you believe, that were thickly populated, but empty houses, not even a fly, not even a chicken. Wow. Not even a goat.
That's really a sad one. Now, are we going to say this has been fueled by the sit-at-home orders, and who are these attackers? Because before now, I believe this is your community. This is where this is your root. Before now, before the whole sit-at-home order, have this been happening, or it was not as rampant or as serious as it is now? And who will you say are these attackers? Where are they springing up from?
You see, thank you so much. You see, the thing is that because of this sit-at-home and the uncertainties, they actually had enforcers who are going around, shooting people for not observing sit-at-home. So it was generally, there was this general idea that, okay, people should not, move around vehicles and all that, but hold meetings, maybe emergency meetings and things like that on Mondays. Then in some places, people, use the opportunity to go to the gym or to go, just generally relax, not much activities. I'm talking of times I was in the village and observed the sit-at-home. So, but, you never know with these fellows, these guys are just, people who want to continue to, disrupt the peace of the Southeast, disrupt business in the Southeast. Imagine on a Monday, declaring a Monday as a sit-at-home, it just shows that these people want to crumble the business of the Southeast. So these fellows are just criminal elements, who go about, because these were people, going, okay, why did they target people? You saw some men on a bike. They did not obstruct. You blocked them and shot them, open fire on them. So the point is that the federal government also needs to help the government of Anambra State rolling, use military force to some extent, and then also use dialogue. Then we've been talking about releasing Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu has said he's willing to work with government to ensure that, this violence is curbed. Release him. Reach an agreement with him. A political decision. Release him so that he can, work with government to ensure that those who actually are profiting from this are exposed, arrested and prosecuted. And then so that those towns that are being occupied, right now are cleared.
Moving into another story, the presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) in the 2023 election has accused the federal government of compromising security in Kano. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony for the construction of 82 kilometers of rural road networks in Madobi, his hometown, the former Kano governor said the federal government is listening to what he called unpatriotic politicians from the state. Kwankwanso, a former minister of defense, was reacting to the ongoing situation in Kano, where security agencies have been accused of backing Aminu Ado Bayero, the deposed emir. Kwankwanso said the people of Kano would resist any attempt to undermine the constituted authority in the state. Russian President Vladimir Putin is heading to northern Korean capital Pyongyang, where he will meet leader Kim Jong-un. The two leaders last met in September, but this is Putin's first visit to Pyongyang since 2000. The US and Seoul have accused North Korea of supplying Russia with artillery and other equipment. Likely in exchange for food and military aid, both countries denied the existence of armed deals but vowed last year to strengthen military ties. Since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Putin has become a pariah to the West and has been seeking allies everywhere. And that's all we have for you with the news update on Enterprise TV. I'm Choma Okohia. Thank you for watching.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.